With each station type, ask yourself, why am I being asked to do this, and how does this station relate to medicine? These are common MMI questions, and most of the time, the examiner wants you to recognize specific skills required by doctors. These are then demonstrated in the respective stations. The best candidates often go further and provide examples of when these skills are used in medical settings. For example, with a data interpretation task, you might be asked, why do you think this task is relevant to medicine? And a good answer would be that medicine is always advancing and new research is being conducted constantly. As such, it is vitally important to be able to evaluate new research in an objective manner in order to establish whether it is useful to future practice. MMI interviews are all about providing structured answers. Whilst the scenarios may change from one university to the next, the structure required for each of the MMI interview types, whether it's data interpretation or a role play, remains exactly the same. The Blackstone Tutors MMI Interview Course focuses on providing you with trusted structures for each of the station types. Commencing stations without a clear understanding of the station requirements or background information often results in candidates unintentionally providing inaccurate information. Unfortunately, this can be regarded as unprofessional conduct. As such, reading the station guidance twice can be vitally important, especially in challenging cases. If in the middle of a station you are unclear on background information, it is more appropriate to ask the examiner for clarification or permission to reread the guidance than to provide inaccurate information based on assumptions. Often, stations are not testing your intricate knowledge of niche medical specialties. Instead, they are looking for an awareness of your limitations. In these cases, the examiner would be looking for an awareness of the different MDT members available to assist you in overcoming the obstacles that you have identified. For example, you might say, as a medical student, I would not feel confident in managing this alone, so I'd seek the support of my supervising consultant. Candidates are often faced with dilemmas in role-play scenarios which either require them to offer a white lie or a statement which may aggravate the patient, potentially making the task more challenging. Now, whilst a white lie may be said with good intentions, unfortunately, it is classified as unprofessional conduct and would lead to failing the MMI station. An example of when this can become challenging is where a relative is requesting test results from one of your patients, which you are aware have returned abnormal. Providing this information would be breaching confidentiality, which is unprofessional conduct. However, refusing to provide the information could result in the relative making a statement such as, "That's fine, I assume the test results aren't back yet." Now, in this precious situation, many candidates are lured into agreeing with that statement or attempting to brush the statement to one side. They often don't provide an actual answer, but are happy to give the impression that the statement is correct and that the test results aren't back yet. Now this, again, is a white lie and so would be classified as unprofessional conduct. In these cases, candidates should make clear their duty of confidentiality and honesty, even though this may aggravate the relative further. An example of what you might say is, "I'm sorry to disappoint you, but without your relative's consent, I cannot discuss the availability of test results or the results themselves. In the event that your relative provides permission, I would be more than happy to discuss this with you further." Research regarding the specific MMI process and historical questions and stations at your chosen universities can be an invaluable part of your preparation process. Over 100 MMI stations with model answers are available through the online MMI question bank. Whilst MMI interviews are notorious for being creative and novel, Many universities have at least one MMI station focused on asking questions about your personal statement, work experience, and motivation to study medicine. Complete the pre-interview requirements. Some universities require you to bring certain information with you to the interviews. For example, the University of Bristol requests work experience details. Other universities request exam certificates, etc. Ensure you are fully aware of any requirements prior to attending your interview. Don't make the mistake of waiting for interview invitations before you start to practice for your MMI. There are lots of tips and techniques to learn and implement prior to your MMI interview. Practice with friends, practice with family, practice with MMI professionals.